Hi, I'm Jason Edwards and I've been helping people for over 10 years now to make positive changes to their lives. And I always know that when anyone has ever become stuck with an issue or a problem and they cannot move forward, if I teach them to stop using just 2 words and replace them with other more empowering words and sentences, they start to change their thoughts, let go of old issues, habits, and move forwards and start to make progress with their lives. So, what are these 2 destructive words, and why should you not use them if you're struggling with issues or you're trying to work out why you do something? Well, first of all, the problem is we are so affected by words, especially the ones that we use ourselves, as they can really restrict us, or, if we use positive words, give us freedom. But we don't stop to think about the words that we use every day. Let me ask you a question. Has something ever gone wrong in your life? Or have you ever been presented with a problem? Or you know you have a deep-rooted issue, but you cannot solve it, or you cannot get to the bottom of it? Did you say something to yourself like, why did this happen? Or even worse, why did this happen to me? Or why did that person do that? Or every time that happens, why do I do that? We then might go off into the realms of, well, that should not have happened, or they should not have done that, or I should be different. Which can then lead us to saying something like, what I should do is, or even what they should do is, and I don't know why they do that, or why they won't do it. Okay, by now you have realised, or should have realised, that the 2 words you need to be totally taking out of your vocabulary when you're looking at problems and issues of any kind are the words why and should. And now I will tell you why you should. Okay, let's deal with the why word first. If you ever ask yourself why you do something, or why someone else does something, it never leads to a good answer. It's what I call a dead-end word, as it absolutely leads you nowhere. It does not actually help to get any kind of answer and leads you down a conversational dead end. Just think, have you ever asked anyone why did they do something and they did not have a good answer for you? Or, for those of you who have children, have you ever been faced with a situation where your children asked you why they cannot have something? Why can't I have that, they say. And you might answer, because you can't. And they may respond with, why can't I? And then you might say, because it costs too much. And then they might say, why does it cost too much money? And the conversation just spirals down and you get absolutely nowhere and never resolve it and never give them an answer. This is because the why question never ever leads to a positive result or outcome, and it never helps you to solve the answer to your problem. In fact, as someone once said to me, why just leads to whining. So, how do we change this? Alright, many years ago I had a client who was struggling with a deep-rooted personal issue in their life. They had struggled with it for many years until they came to see me for hypnotherapy and NLP. And one of the main reasons that stopped them moving forward was that they kept asking the same question of themselves. Every time something happened, they said, why do I do that, they ask. I don't know, I said. So I asked them what they did for a living, and they told me they were a police officer. So I asked them, if you turn up to a crime scene, how do you find out what happened? Do you ask people why the crime was committed to get the answers you need? They thought about it for a while and said, no. I tend to ask them where they were at the time, what were they doing, who were they with, when they arrived, and how they got there. So I asked them, question the cause of your own issue in this manner now, and notice these questions give you a completely different set of answers. What, where, when, who, and how. If you ever want to get to the bottom of a problem or a deep-rooted issue, you have to ask a better quality of question. So instead of asking why you do something, ask yourself when you do it. When does the problem start? Where do you do it? How do you do it? And maybe even who you're with at the time. This will start to take your mind off in a totally new direction and give you a much better quality of answer. It will enable you to see when and how, not why a problem or issue is formed. So when we start to get to the bottom of something and we can see a problem more clearly, what do we do about it? Well, the first thing we have to do is stop using another word, and that word is should. Should is the other word that you need to totally eradicate from your life. And what are the reasons for not saying should? And notice I did not say the Y word there. The problem with using should is that it really limits and restricts our thinking. Unlike the Y word, which leads us nowhere, should just leads us off in one direction but leaves us no other options. Okay, take these two sentences for example. I should lose weight and I should stop smoking. Now the thoughts behind these words may be correct, and you may feel that losing weight and stopping smoking is the right thing to do for you, but it totally restricts your thinking. What if we change should into a more powerful word that will really help us to create more options? Instead of saying, I should do something, what if we asked, how could I achieve what I wanted to do? Or, how many ways could I make something work for me? Or even, could we find a brand new way to do this? How much better do those words sound? I've always said I spend 80% of my time helping people turn their shoulds into coulds. You see, if we go around having shoulds all day, I should do this, I should do that, this should happen, that should happen, they should do this. Basically, we just end up shoulding all over ourselves. When you want to get over something or want to change your habit or behaviour, you need options in life, and should does not give you them. The more options you have, the more empowered you will find that you will become. So, no more whining, turn your shoulds into coulds. Try it for just one day and see what a difference that it will make to your life.